said was safety, such as crime prevention, traffic patterns, that sort of thing. And the second one we had was neighbor relations. For example, landlord to homeowners, renters to homeowners, and then homeowners to homeowners.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Awesome.
Okay. We came up with vacant homes being an issue, that there's been vacant homes and even one close by me that's been condemned, and now the condemned sign is down. So they're condemned for different reasons, and there's laws and rules about who can, when the inspector can go in and see them. So anyway, so and that just means people can't live there if it's condemned for whatever reason. And so I would like to see homes occupied in our you know, that most homes should be occupied before we start building outside of the city. We should have our infrastructure and have our people here. So then we also came up with in the neighborhood, we should be involved in the bike boulevards, the development of bike boulevards, especially if it's going through our neighborhood. Someone should be going. Yeah, someone should be going and finding out what's happening with that, so that we're involved with it. And then we also came up with tree planting and removal. There's different times where trees have to be removed by the city, and there's different times when they can put them in and the city will take the cost. And for example, on my boulevard, I had to pay to have one put in because I requested it, and they didn't have enough money because now they were replacing all the ash trees that they just took down. So I'm involved with that because I had 4 taken out across the street from me. So thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to go next since I'm here?
Sure. We only had one real big issue that wasn't touched on, and mainly in the other things. And at night, some of the streets get really dark. The lights get shut off, and you know, that could fall into the safety category possibly, or just, you know, it makes it a little uncomfortable when you're walking around sometimes in some of the streets. So I don't know if lights don't necessarily have to be at full brightness. I don't know if there's a way that they can maybe come on at a dimmed level or something late at night, but that could be a good thing.
Ours are also very similar. We would like to see maintaining a healthy level of ownership, and people maintain properties, whether they live there or it's a rental. And we're wondering if there's some cases where maybe the people are elderly or unable to keep it up. Maybe there's some way we could help. And then the tree idea, the ash trees, and in fact we took note that over the last 10, 15 years, a lot of trees have been taken down, nothing to do with that ash emerald borer, but never replanted. So we're kind of falling behind in that area. Then we sort of cheated and put the crime and the traffic problem together. Not only the alley idea was mentioned up there, but there's some side streets that are having the same problem, I think, as their alley is, with people kind of using them to cut through to get from one main place to another, probably in an unsafe speed.
Thank you. Want to go?
Yeah, we had rentals and vacant properties, and then we split safety into crime and traffic issues, and social, getting to know each other.
Awesome. Thank you.
I was kind of tailing just for curious.
Do you want to go?
Sure. We have traffic patterns, speed limits, and alleys possibly. An alley is not a street. We have more social media, maybe more communication amongst our neighbors with Facebook things or different things of, you know, email addresses of our neighbors, you know, if the dog is out or this or that. Make sure all materials are emailed at least 1 week in advance of the next meeting so that we can communicate amongst each other better, so we can research or do whatever we need to do. And then the last one is, as the president of the Apartment Association of the La Crosse area, one of my big, huge goals is to eliminate this connotation of landlords versus single-family homeowners. We are all citizens of the city of La Crosse, and we all need to work together. And I think it's extremely important that we do that.
Did I get all the groups that were in the center?
We have one. Some of the things that have already been said, the immediate concern was addressing the ash tree issue and any potentials for treatment or replacement of greenery. And then similar to the other group, 2 related concerns to safety, one being minor crimes such as vandalism or petty theft or break-ins becoming increasingly common, and the second being pedestrian and auto traffic concerns about safety right now.
Thank you. On the side of the room?
Okay, so have poorly maintained rentals, so not rentals per se, but the poorly maintained ones. Some ideas were to instill pride in all homes, raise the standards on some of the rentals, help the appearance and the structure of the place, and also have opportunities for neighbors to intervene or to help out in some way. And also use the neighborhood association passively as a way to bring concerns to the inspection department, so they maybe carry a little more weight, because sometimes when you call, it's, or, email, it's somewhere, but you don't know where. The second issue was friendly streets, so the speeding, the corner control, walking, biking friendly. The third one was more green space, and they didn't have one over there, so we have number 4. We have more gatherings and know your neighbors and more social occurrence.
All right. Thank you very much. One of the things that I'm just really curious about, and this will just help us to kind of get a sense of who's part of our conversation to date. So if you could raise your hand if you live in an owner-occupied home, just to kind of get a sense of who's in the room and who's part of the conversation. Lots of owner-occupied, okay. If you are a property